Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, October 28th. We are looking at the market profile of the SPY ETF here on Window Trader. And boy, oh boy, what a day. I'm in, I think, 6 or 7 tick increments. We ended, this says 12 wide, it's 11 wide. Let me just fix that. This is some interesting stuff transpired today. So let me just get this to update and we will be back in business. And there we are. Oh, it still says, oh, I know why it says 12 wide. I apologize because the N ticked up there. Okay, we end 11 wide. Now, why is that strange? Well, because we closed down almost 3.5%. When's the last time you saw a gap? First of all, it's a huge gap. 515 point gap. Out of an inside day. Think that stuff's powerful? Come out of an inside day to the downside. 515 point gap. However, we only end with one set of single prints and we end 11 wide. At one point, almost 35 to 40% of the volume was done in an 80-cent range. We ended up with a $6.71 range. We had almost 35 to 40% of the volume before we made a new low in M done in an 80-cent range. So they found a very nice happy place. We have a reversal bar in M, a big reversal bar. Somebody said in my room early in M period, did we rally too early? I said, well, a couple of things. We put in a lot in here where I think it was shorts trying to push it down, so maybe we rallied too early, but I thought we'd get a little more to the upside first. I did take a short in M, but only held it for literally seconds, but made good money on it because I thought we'd get more of a push possibly to around F's high. Boy, was I wrong as we reversed and reversed hard. I had a good day, and I missed a lot of trades, either because I got too picky or I just didn't get them. I had bids in, and I just didn't get the calls or the puts. But it was still, I did one trade after E period, and I had a very good day. I'm not going to complain. I could sit here all I want and say I could have made up my year today. On the flip side, there's a lot of people out there that got crushed because they don't look at market-generated information, because they're trying to catch a falling knife, because they're not getting guidance the way I try to give, and how awesome my room is, how they contribute just as much as I do and in looking at things. So it's really great. And for the most part, the room did excellent today. These are the days that some people get killed in. Our room, from what I understand from talking to most of the traders, did very, very well. And I'm so happy to see that. So, what did I do today? A period opened. I didn't do anything right away. I said it was too much for me to really want to do anything. Once we started getting to that gap that I talked about, I thought it would be decent risk reward. It came late in the time frame. I did it quick. I took the 330 calls, and initially they worked out, and I got out of them, and I made money on it, and that was it. Then the game started to the downside. So in B period, now again, today, everything was today except for M period. I went to Friday's puts. But I took 332 puts in B period twice, which worked out beautifully. Then I switched when we had the single prints to where the single prints would get filled. I took 331 puts in C twice. That worked out beautifully. So I did one long in A I made on, and I did 4 shorts in B and C, 2 in each, which really did very well for me. Then I did again in E period shorts inside the single prints. They worked out nice, even though I took them off before F period even started because they came in and then F went higher. I did not take the short in F. At that time, I was a little torn. The fact that E took out D's high, that didn't surprise. Well, it surprised me we stopped the one-time framing down in D. I thought maybe we would wait till at least F, if not G period. With the market down so much, I expected the whole morning to continue one-time framing down. So that did surprise me a little bit. So I did take the short in E, and it worked out. But then when F took out E's high, and now we're one-time framing up, I thought, well, I wasn't sure if we were going to fill singles first, and then I would look for a short for an afternoon rally high, Or was this all they're going to get and roll over? Obviously, that's all they got. So I missed a play there. That is fine. I mean, for me, I knocked the cover off the ball in B's shorts, C's shorts. E was okay. It wasn't a great one, but it was fine. Then I was looking for longs. Now, why was I looking for longs when we got down later in the day? Well, look what happened here. A, B, C, right? Look at the distance we got from A's low, from B's low. Now, again, I'm in 10 tick increments, so it doesn't look as much. But look what happened after C's low. We made a new low in D, didn't get much. We made a new low in E, didn't get much. G didn't even make a new low. We made a new low in H. Now, H, I missed a beautiful call play because we had single prints back from September 25th, 5 sets. Well, ES had filled 3. I missed filling my third one by 3 cents, and I got stubborn not to take the long yet and missed this whole thing in H and I. So that's shame on me on that one. So I missed that. Didn't do anything then. Again, I was waiting for a new low in J, a new low in K. It never came. And then I certainly, by M period, I wasn't going to go fading a new low. That certainly wasn't going to happen. So the only other trade I took was the short in M. So I had a good day, but I definitely missed a short in F. But again, I'm not as upset with that one because we were one-time framing up. I was looking more for the gap, the single prints to fill and then to take a short then. So that didn't happen. But I'm upset at myself for missing that long in H, and I possibly could have taken a couple of shorts early in an M. But again, we were one-time framing up. I'm fine with what I did. I had a very good day. So let's go over destination and what's going on going forward. So for the upside, we have the price probe. H is low. That's a price probe. That's at 327.14. Then we have 11 wide, incredibly down 3%. We traded 11 out of 13 time frames. And by the way, remember I told you with all the volume we did in 80 cents? Well, here it is. I'm in tens, but this speaks volumes, literally and figuratively, about what transpired today. Even though we're down 3.5%, look how much volume we did in an 80 cent range. And for I don't know why they picked this level. It's not like it's above last month's high or above last month's low. It's not a level that I would think was too important, but they picked it. So here's all your volume in 10 tick increments. So 328.45, 11 wide, H is low. H is high, I apologize. So the price probe is H is low, the POC is H is high. That's rare you see that, that's for sure. Then we have the single prints, 330.35 get filled at 91. Then we have B's high, which is the highest accepted price, 331.44. So A closed. B went up only a little bit, rolled over. I'm using that as the highest accepted price. Now we have a huge sell tail to today's high, 332.84, and then filling the gap at 337.99, 515-point gap. That gap, my friends, will not get filled the first time in there. For the downside, we closed at, where did we close? 326.66, 326.13, today's low. Then we have the last set of single prints of September 25th, 326.08, get filled at 325.86. Then below that, it gets kind of dicey. If you think today was bad, down almost $12 and down 3.5%. Below those single prints, look what we run into. 321.64, daily low. Then we have that bullseye on the bull's back. 319.80, which right now is this month's low. I'm sorry, that's last month's low. I apologize. So right now we still have an inside month with 2 days to go. 319.64 weekly low. 319.25 weekly low. So rest assured, at some point, if the bulls don't get their act together, and for argument's sake, we hold last month's low of 319.80. Well, if we come out of an inside month to the downside and take out whatever this month's low ends up being, for sure, they're going to target those. And below that, it gets even dicier. There's really nothing below in this market down to the 3,000 level. Something to keep in mind as we go forward. Okay. And why am I saying this? Well, don't forget, we have GDP tomorrow. Let's go to the charts as I'm speaking. GDP tomorrow. All the tech earnings tomorrow night for Friday morning. The election Tuesday. The Fed Wednesday. Non-farm payroll Friday. Put all that together, not even saying if there's no decision on the election Tuesday. I think if we have a clear winner, the market will actually breathe a sigh of relief no matter who it is. Now, there will be certain sectors that get hit pretty good, depending on who wins. But I think the overall market will actually breathe a big sigh of relief. But I'm telling you, if it's close and this election gets contested for a day, for a week, for a month, well, remember the 3,000 level I told you about? Well, we're going to see it in a heartbeat. You can take that to the bank. The market is not going to want to deal with that after everything else it dealt with this year. And not even, you realize COVID, nobody's even talking about it. Meanwhile, it's spiking all over the world again. Right? But again, the market doesn't care about that right now. Just like the market doesn't care about stimulus. That's off the table. We had an inside day yesterday. They knew it was off the table. They don't care. Now, here's your monthly. 3-month balance, possibly an inside month. We still have 2 days to go, so who knows? Weekly. We are now down. Right? We said this. One time framing out for 2 weeks. There's that 438 low. Weekly low. Wiped it out. 331.19. Weekly low. Wiped it out. What's the next target? You got it. Last month's low. So do we hold it for these 2 days? Look what's below it. Nothing. There's really nothing. We have the couple of weekly. Look, here's the monthly low right now. Here's those other 2 weekly lows I'm talking about. You talk about a target. If that doesn't hold, if they don't hold those levels, well, again, you know your next best big level is 297, right here, and then even further lower. So, again, there's a lot. By the way, a lot of you in this room, well, I won't talk about it yet because we're nowhere near it, but the 287 level has been a favorite level of mine for years. Maybe we'll talk about it at some point. Not yet. Because before we get there, the next huge level on my radar would be around the 302.50 level, I believe, right? Yep, 302.63. So 302.50, I rounded out. Why? Because, again, we can go back. And if you know what, I will do it. I know it's a long video, but I think it's pretty important to talk about what's going on here, what you guys and gals can possibly look forward to as next week unfolds. It might unravel too. Here's January of 2018. That was our all-time high at the time, right around the 287 level. Look what happened in February. Went down to 253. We then spent months carving out a balance between that high and that low. We saw above it a little bit. We spent 5-6 weeks above that 287 level. Got into it, and look what happened in December of 2018. Flushed down to 233 level. Got back into this balance, 253, 287. That's the balance I'm talking about. Took weeks again. Got above 287. Spent a couple of weeks. Dipped down again. Finally, in June of 19, we got above it, stayed above it. Now, this time, instead of only looking above it a little bit, we just dipped below it a little bit. And then 302.50 became the huge upside level. That became your new balance, 287 to 302.50. We traded there from June of 19 to December of 19 until finally, look, boom, popped. Got above it, exploded. Hold on a second. Look what happens. Gets back to it. And you know the rest of the story. February, March of this year, we blew through it. Back to the 287 level. Look at the battle here. Finally got above it. Look at the battle at 302.50. Finally got above it. Well, guess what? if we don't hold 319.80 level, you're going to come back and battle that 302.50 level. And if you don't hold that 302.50 level, you're going to come back finally to my favorite 287 level. Just a bigger picture. I know this is a long video, but I am hoping you guys and gals like it, see what I'm looking at. Yes, I'm a day trader, but I love looking at the bigger picture, what we can look forward to, possibly. So I hadn't told that 287 story in a while. I thought it was worth it. Here's your daily. Now, somebody said in the room to me today, oh, actually, this is wrong. The daily high is 332.84. So this is not even close. Let me fix it. Well, I'll fix it afterwards. Somebody asked me in the room today. I said, I think this is short-term traders. Yes, the volume's 125 million and it's good. But to have 11 wide when we're down 3.5%, I don't think long-term plays would allow that. Now, are long-term plays in this market, say, since last week? Of course they could be. But I don't think they're controlling the market. Look at last Monday. Last Monday had a triple distribution day down. If that's long-term sellers, are they going to allow this market to trade sideways for 4 days and almost take back all of it? We didn't take back all of that, but we had a nice 5-day balance. The answer for me is I don't really think so. Look what happened this Monday. We finally now got below the 50. Now we're below the 50-day moving average 3 days. So if 1 day doesn't make a market, well, 3 days certainly starts making it concerning for the bulls. So if they can't get anywhere near this 50-day moving average and they don't hold the 319.80 level, well, guess what? We're going to test the 200-day moving average, and then we're going back down, folks, to my favorite 302. Where is it? I don't even know where it is on the daily. 302.50 level. So I do think long-term money is involved, but I don't think they're driving this market yet. If we gap lower tomorrow, if we go and take out last month's low and start getting more acceleration, heavier volume, then I'll say, you know what, I was wrong, and this has been nothing but, for the most part, long-term sellers. I know this is a long video, but I hope it paints a visual picture, not just a profile of what we saw today, but also on the charts, what I see and what I'm looking for going forward, and helps you. This is what I do all day in this trading room. I think I've made a difference in a lot of traders. I would like to say lives to keep them. The first thing I did today was say, stay out of trouble. There's no reason to be buying this in the first 4 time frames. So we've had a lot of people join the last 2 days alone. I love it. I hope you had a good day. Stay safe tonight. Have a great night. And we will speak prior to the opening tomorrow.